Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. We are on the brink of the biggest transfer window in years, and it will be the biggest transfer window in years because it's the first one for a while where we've not had that fear of COVID and finances and clubs potentially looking to take that step up. Maybe clubs looking to drop down. Will it be the end of Liverpool actually? Mane to Bayern. We got this last year with Grealish, weeks before it happened. Been speaking to somebody who's quite close to the Liverpool transfer scene on Nunez and Mane. Mane to Bayern. Dembele or Nunez maybe coming in. Lots to talk about. We're also going to talk about what City are going to do. Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, Man United. A massive transfer window ahead. Who's going to come out of it the winners and what does it mean for next season? It is going to be big. But first of all, before we do that, talking about big things, it's time to trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. We're sponsored by Manscaped on the show. The summer is about to hit. And if you're wearing your shorts or your Speedos, you don't want any foreign objects slipping out. You want to be trim and looking good, and that is what Manscaped do for over 4 million men worldwide. Dive headfirst into summer by joining those 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and using the code FOOTY for 20% off plus free shipping. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to prepare for that summer body. Inside the package you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0, which is this, the Weed Whacker, the ear and nose trimmer, which is fantastic, Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Toner, Performance Boxer Briefs and a travel bag. The Lawnmower 4.0 features amazing things like cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has got a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunctional on and off switch and a travel lock, and it gives you the ability to turn on the LED light, which is 4000K on and off when need for a precise shave. Did I mention the trimmer is also waterproof as well? So what do you wait for? Get on to manscaped.com. I care about everyone who watches That's Football and get a huge 20% off plus free shipping when you use the code FOOTY. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. It really does make a big difference, and also they are fantastic products. So make sure you check out Manscaped. You can scan the QR code. I've turned it on. You can scan the QR code with your camera phone next to me, or you can just go through the link in the description. Big thanks to Manscaped. And of course, a good partner for this show is Manscaped, because trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Trim the squad to make your team perform better, which is sort of the same thing, and that's what so many teams are going to be trying to do this summer. And I want people to get in the comments and give us your thoughts. Predict. Come back to this video at the start of next season and see what you predicted, because I'm going to give some predictions as well. Liverpool are going to lose Mane. He's going to go to Bayern Munich. Simple as that. Will Salah stay? I think he is going to stay for another year, but maybe he'll go next year. Maybe he'll just run his contract down. I don't know. What does that mean for Liverpool? I'm thinking about the players. I'm thinking about the structure. I look at that Liverpool side without Mane and I'm worried. I really am. But I'm probably not worried because I think Jurgen Klopp is the expert. I watched Liverpool play against Southampton a couple of games before the end of the season, and he made loads of changes and they dominated them. And Liverpool have been doing this for years under Klopp. He can make changes, but the players on the training ground that are the reserves, they know the system like the back of their hand, and they still play with the same intensity and shape. So I think if Mane goes, he's still got Diaz, Jota and Salah, and he will bring somebody else in as well. Mane leaving is a big loss for Liverpool. I'm surprised he's going, but Bayern Munich is where he's going to go. We've heard this. But I also heard at the weekend that Nunez is a player that Liverpool are very advanced with. Now, that could be not a great source. It could be really good. But Dembele has been linked to them as well, although I would expect him to probably go to PSG. And, Mbappe, the manager at PSG, has got a good relationship with him through the French squad. So maybe Nunez is the player that's going to go to Liverpool. And that might suit them better. But Liverpool will recruit, and Liverpool do recruit well. The question is, will Liverpool be as strong next season as they are this summer, have been this season? And I think ultimately when it comes to Liverpool, we'll have to wait and see. You can't write them up under Klopp. They've still got some fantastic players. I do feel that, maybe that midfield might need another midfielder in there as well. But Man City are looking strong, aren't they? So I think Liverpool will be the number one competitors, but so much depends on what they do in the transfer window to replace Mane and what they bring in. I would not be writing them off, and they would still be a firm favourite. Whether they could ever try and do a quadruple again, they were so close, I don't think that's on the cards. But I'm not doing Premier League predictions yet. The summer will define so much. Manchester City have already bought Erling Haaland in. They've got this Alvarez coming in. They're also linked to Enzo Fernandez, who's another midfielder from River Plate. Calvin Phillips has been mentioned for them. Pep, that wouldn't surprise me. Maybe a couple of years ago it would have done, but the fact that he spent £100 million on Grealish wouldn't surprise me if he did go for a Calvin Phillips. Cucurella's been mentioned from Brighton. So Man City are the twice Premier League winners, and yet they almost feel like they've had a bad season, and they're going to go again. And they have started spending massive amounts of money. So Man City are going to be very interesting. I saw something today about Richarlison, or whatever you want to say, from Everton as well, linked to Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal. Man United have been linked to him as well. So there's going to be a lot of activity that's very, very difficult to read this summer. On the continent, obviously, we're seeing people like Mbappe staying at PSG. Tchouaméni's probably going to go to Real Madrid. He won't come to the Premier League. There's been talk about Dybala. I think he'll actually stay in Serie A. But there's so many teams that need to do so much business. My club, Manchester United, obviously we're linked to De Jong, whether we can do that. Timber, whether we can do that. We want Nunez as well. Can we do that? I think the interesting thing is, I look at Arsenal. They need a striker and a midfielder. I look at Spurs. They probably need 3 or 4 players. Chelsea, new owners, not a great season for them. They need to do something. So Newcastle, massive amounts of money. Arsenal, Aston Villa, Everton, they'll want to be competitive. That's before you get to teams like Wolves and Leicester and West Ham and all the others. So my issue is, it's going to be a big summer. And why I want to look at the comments is, but who's going to do what? Who's the striker Arsenal are going to get? Who's the striker that Man United are going to get? Who's the Mane replacement that Liverpool are going to get? What are Chelsea going to do in the striking position? And if that's 4, and Newcastle wants a striker, if that's 5 signings, attackers coming into the Premier League clubs, who are they? Where are they? And how do you get them? Because Nunez is an obvious option that everybody wants. You can start talking about people like Jonathan David. Is he good enough from the French league? Alexander Isak. Is he good enough from La Liga? I think it's going to be really, really interesting. And we'll be doing a lot of transfer reaction shows on this video because I think it's going to define next season. Arsenal's season ultimately ended up quite disappointing, finishing in 5th. I still think that was a good season from where they came from, but I understand their disappointment. Arsenal will stand still if they don't move in the transfer window. Spurs had a great season finishing 4th. If they don't build on that, which I think they will do, they will stagnate. Man United want to make big leaps from 6th and back into the Champions League. They've got to do that by recruitment. Chelsea, they want to be fighting with Liverpool and Man City, but they're not good enough. They've got to make big strides. Is there enough talent out there? Is there enough money out there? I think there's enough money out there. I think Arsenal have got enough money to buy a midfielder and a striker. I think Spurs have got money. United have got money. Chelsea will have money. Newcastle have got money. Man City have got money. Everyone's got the money, but is the talent pool there enough? It's not a World Cup and it's not a Euro summer, so it's not like you can find these players at different countries that you wouldn't normally look at. The scouting networks of all these clubs are going to be really, really important. And I think that's what's going to make for a really, really exciting summer transfer window. I'm intrigued to see how it's going to work. I think Man City are in the position of strength because they're the champions and they're adding somebody like Erling Haaland and probably 2 others. I think Man City look very, very strong and capable of having another good transfer window. Liverpool need to have one. I mean, losing Mane or Salah, it's like losing Van Dijk. Massive players for them. And losing Mane is going to be very difficult to replace. And also, let's not forget, Liverpool are losing one of their best players. Man City are adding another superstar. So already you sort of go, if they're level, that could be the tip in the scales. So Liverpool need to react. And then you've got Chelsea, who are sort of stuck in between. They're not quite good enough to win the league at the moment, but they're too good to be in the battle for 4th. Are they going to move up with signings or down or just get stuck in between? And then you've got this race for 4th place, which you could have somebody come up on the outside if they did really well. I mean, it's unlikely a Villa would get 4th, but is it unlikely they'll have a much better season? Probably not. Newcastle, can they build on that with the money we know they've got? And then, of course, you've got the Manchester Uniteds, the Spurs and the Arsenals. What are they going to do in the window to, push themselves into that 4th place again? So I think it's going to be really interesting. Predictions, I would say Liverpool probably will get Nunez or Dembele. Or they'll go and get somebody nobody knows about who's scouted brilliantly well, who can play 60 games a season at 100 miles an hour. And everyone will go, what a brilliant bit of business from Liverpool again. United, as a United fan, I don't know what we're going to do, but we've got to do something with Ten Hag coming in. And Spurs and Arsenal, I'm sort of pretty much in the same as position as I'm with Chelsea. They're all going to sign players, but who are they going to sign? And I think that's going to be the most interesting thing. I think the team with the best scouting networks are going to do well, because you've got to be able to go to the Bundesliga, the French League, La Liga, and pull a player out that's probably costing you 30, 40 million at a club that's maybe a mid-table club, with a player that's just, you know, a hidden gem that's ready to come up and play at the highest level. I don't think there's going to be a lot of clubs that can just go and spend £70 million on a player that's going to be a guaranteed success. In fact, if you look at the transfer market, most players that get bought for over £60 million flop. There's plenty at United. You know, Van Dijk's an obvious one that did well, and there are others. But when you spend a lot of money, Arsenal will tell you, with the likes of Pepe, it doesn't always work out well. United with Maguire. So I think that the value is in having a good scouting network, and that's what will make the difference. If you can go and pluck up these players like Leicester have in the past with Ndidi and Kante and others, that's going to make you successful. Players that are hungry to move to a bigger club with the potential to become really, really good players. And Liverpool have been brilliant at this over the years. So look, I'm excited. Get your comments in below. What do you think about the transfer window? Who do you think is going to buy what? And I'll certainly be reading over some of those comments and reacting to them over the future videos. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. It's going to be a big summer. It's going to be an exciting summer, and we'll be reacting to those transfers. And make sure you check out Manscaped. Links in the description, or hold your phone up and scan the QR code. 20% off with the code FOOTY. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic products, and I'll speak to you on the next one.